vocal warm-ups every day and start getting back in shape for the road. I've been off for a couple months, and the voice, like anything, you know, if you're a sprinter, you can't take a couple of months off and then hit the fast track right away. So I try to get back into shape over a period of about a week or more. I had a back surgery in July, so I've just been taking it easy and starting to, you know, physical training and getting back into shape. Well, this will be a show of basically a retrospective, you know, life and the times kind of show. I sometimes show slides from my career if we have a stage set up for that. I don't know if I do for this particular show, but you know, it's very much for those who followed, you know, the career somewhat, whether it's from the beginning and then stopped or some caught up in the middle around soundtracks and picked it up from there. But so I cover a lot of material, and usually people get to hear what they came for. Well, I try not to pick any songs I don't enjoy. I'm too old to be putting up with that. So I try to pick songs that are either really fun songs like Footloose, or songs that have maybe a strong personal meaning to me, like Real Thing or Conviction of the Heart. Which should be interesting. You know, I haven't really had a full-out college audience in a long time, so we'll see how much of the audience is actually college age and how much of the audience is older. In a way, you know, there's so much history connected to me that Blue Sky Riders is much more present tense, and we are getting a younger audience already. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. That was a band that I started with Gary Burr out of Nashville last September, and we've been writing songs and getting ready for recording. We'll start recording in this month, and it's a trio: Gary Burr, Georgia Middleman from San Antonio, Texas, and which is sort of Texas is the other country music, and sort of I'm bringing the whole Loggins and Messina kind of country rock thing into this, and we're basically sort of a hybrid Crosby, Stills, Nash meets Loggins and Messina, you know, meets late 80s. You know, we're trying to just write. I believe that what the whole thing's got to be hinged on is really strong tunes, and because the harmonies, the blend is just why I started the band. Gary sounds like my brother, and vocally, and then when we sing together, we have this great blend. And then when Georgia sings with us, it's just amazing because she sings on all his demos, and is a successful singer-songwriter in her own right. Just had the last Keith Urban hit. Gary's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame, having had 13 number one songs. So, like I say, we lean on songwriting as the essence of what we do. It's really fun. It's really fun to get up there and share the stage with such strong singers. They opened for me for about 7 shows 2 months ago, and you know, we've been blogging about our experience on the BlueSkyRidersBand.com, blogging about what it's like to start over, start a new band. You know, sometimes I'll go out there and the audience has no clue who we are, and they don't even recognize me. You know, so it's like there's a sort of what the hell is happening thing in the end. Or in some cases, they're not used to opening acts at all. Yeah. In some venues, they just don't have them. So to suddenly have an opening act, they're not sure what's happening. whether it's the start of my show or what. Well, what we're going to do is probably release 5 tracks at a time, virally. And that'll, you know, in 5 or 6 will equal a hard paper CD coming out in, hopefully before the end of the year. And then we'll just keep writing and keep recording and see how far this goes. You know, I had 2 big brothers, and one big brother was deep into R&B, and this was the late 50s, early 60s. And my other big brother was deep into folk and country, and of course before that into rockabilly. So I had basically 2 cradle languages, which was the folky rockabilly thing, and then the R&B of that era, starting with the Platters, and Little Richard, and all the stuff that at first wasn't even played on the radio, and then moved on into Aretha Franklin and James Brown and stuff like that. So I really have both styles of music in my soul, and it's just a matter of what direction I'm facing, who I'm playing with for what I will do. Who am I working with? What direction am I going? With Blue Sky Riders, I'm leaning more towards the rockabilly, folky, country thing that Bob raised me on. With Everett Hart or a jazzer, I would lean more towards the R&B stuff. So it just depends on where I am and what I'm doing. I've always collaborated. I've been pretty much a collaborator, with the exception of maybe a dozen tunes over the years. Pretty much a collaborator my whole career. Yeah, it was a big nostalgia trip. You know, it was very much going back and doing the music I wrote when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And, you know, some of that stuff holds up pretty good. So I was pleasantly surprised, and the audiences were very enthusiastic, wanting to get a glimpse of their own youths. And so it was sort of a fun kind of rehashing of the old days. Not necessarily somewhere I want to stay for my whole career, but you know, it's nice to dip in now and then. Well, when I have a little time, I'm recording a children's lullaby record, much like Return to Pooh Corner, and that's been out there 18 years now. And I was started on it when I made a record for Disney, and then we had talked about doing another lullaby record, so I just sort of jumped on it, and then that regime at Disney got, shall we say, the lateral arabesque, and since they all moved to other doors, I decided to just keep the lullaby record for myself. So I'm about 3 songs short of being done on that. It started long ago, before my son Luke was born. Julia was pregnant with Luke, and I realized that I was in for another 4 years of Barney if I didn't do something right away. And I kept thinking, why doesn't somebody make an album for children that the parents could love as much as the children? And it dawned on me that I had, over the years, since I'd had 3 children before Luke, I'd sort of collected a repertoire of songs that I would sing to my own kids at night that were, you know, some were classics and some were Beatle tunes and some were, you know, all over the map. And so I started weeding through them to see what would be cool in a re-record, and then wrote a couple of my own, and that's how it all started. Well, I just appreciate the fact that I still have them, that they still are interested in the music, that they want to not only hear the oldies, but they want to hear what's been going on lately. And, not a lot of legacy artists can say that they get to be present tense artists as well, and I appreciate that.